your group has been trying to get the information out to the general public in Ventura and Southern California and nationwide. And what was it, 2 weeks ago was the 225th anniversary of the Ventura mission, which had Cardinal Mahoney come up as sort of the headliner. And you organized an event, a silent vigil, I guess you would call it, after the Mass that they had down there. And we have some video of that, and if the control room can go to that disc, we'll show the video of that, and I think our mics will be open and we can talk about it. I attended it and I had my friend shoot video, but if you look real closely, there are people carrying picket signs, informational picket signs, walking. I think they were having lunch in front of the Knights of Columbus, wasn't that right?
Yeah, it was a little parish meal after they had their Mass on Main Street.
And it was an informational event where flyers are being handed out and questions answered, because I think several people got people talking about it, which I think that was a positive thing.
One of the things that really surprised me is half of the people that I talked to knew nothing about the 3,850 dead underneath the 1922 schoolhouse.
Now that's the Cardinal's assistant, and actually the Cardinal got one of your flyers. There's the Cardinal there.
Talking to me.
Oh, is that you, Robin?
Yes. He said I misspelled his name, his last name.
On the picket sign, you misspelled his name.
And he said, you'll take care of that, right? And
Yep.
I said, yes. I thought he was teasing me, but he wasn't. I didn't do that intentionally, but that's all he asked. He didn't ask anything else. He didn't ask me why we were there. He just said that I had misspelled his name, and would I please correct that?
Oh my gosh, that's what he carried away from all this information we were throwing at him.
Well, Steve talked to him after that a little bit.
I got 3 seconds with him as he walked by, and I asked him if he could talk a little bit about the graves underneath the schoolhouse, and he turned it to me and said, "I know nothing about that." And I said, "Well, Cardinal, can I at least give you a flyer that explains some of it?" And he showed me somebody already had given him a flyer. He said, "Thank you, I already have one." And he turned around and walked away.
It didn't sound very positive then.
Well, I think he's used to saying, "I don't know anything about that."
I think right there he just got the flyer and he has it in his hands, and the camera guy was panning with him, and he's folding it up there with his assistant.
There was really an interesting pictorial history on the inside of Knights of Columbus there, where they had put historic photographs of the mission all the way around on the walls. And I had walked in, and every picture that they had that slightly showed the cemetery next door, that they had cropped the photograph so that the cemetery didn't show any place.
Is that right?
It was an incredible parish in denial.
They're trying to rewrite history, it sounds like.
They don't want anybody to know that there's a schoolhouse on top of 3,850 graves, because you might have to think about something.
Well, what did you feel like, Robin, that day? I was there and had my friends shooting some video. I felt very emboldened, and I was sort of spoiling for a discussion with anybody who was talking to me. But how did you feel? Because you have family involved.
Yes, I was the same as you. I was hoping for a discussion with somebody, and as we were walking down there, just feet from the Knights of Columbus Hall is, on the other side, is the Andrew Comstock Fire Museum, and he's buried there. He's my great-great-grandfather.
Oh.
He's a Civil War veteran, and he's buried at St. Mary's Cemetery, and there's a little fire museum right there where those people were eating.
You know, I walked by there and saw that.
Yeah, that was named after him.
Yeah, I thought that was a great event. I think it got a lot of people involved, and but I don't know. It was interesting to see that the few people that talked to me were the young people, and they came up and asked questions. And now, of course, I don't know if I connected with them or not, but you know, I I gave them the facts, and you know, and I was trying to be very informational. But I thought it was kind of funny when we were standing there towards the end that the Knights of the Columbus sort of were trying to run us out of there. I thought that was kind of humorous. They were saying, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And
that was my consensus also. It seemed like the older folks knew darn well what was going on and were in denial, but the younger people, up to 30, 35 years old, were very interested and really curious and absolutely shocked, saying, "Oh my gosh, what? They've never even heard this before." And that's what our picketing was all about, is to get the information out. I think a populace that's educated, that knows that your heritage has been desecrated and erased and eradicated, has to be told that, you know, you do have a history. You did come from someplace.
I'm pretty sure most of the flyers disappeared. A few people I talked to that had flyers, I don't think they had any left. I know a lot of them went out. And so, you know, I guess baby steps is the name. What would you like, I mean, where do you go from here?